It's like Morse code.
Yeah.
Morse code. Welcome to the Morse Code podcast. It's the podcast where there's more bleeps than peeps.
I've got news.
You got news? What's our news?
I've got news.
He's got news.
We got a new bleeper.
So this is interesting.
I'm interested already.
So hundreds of people named Josh converge on Nebraska Park for a pool noodle battle.
Yeah.
Have you heard about this?
Yeah.
So I've never heard about this.
It's pretty wild.
Oh yeah, that's pretty old actually. I think that happens.
I'll be honest, it is kind of old.
Not this article itself. Okay.
Okay.
This was May 23rd, 2022. Today.
Maybe it was
Today.
the retribution of the Joshes. They came back.
Well, so let's see. So yes, it has been happening, but now, I mean, it's an event that continues to happen. So they're saying a couple hundred people came out to do this,
happening.
which they also raised $21,000 for Children's Hospital.
For Children's
Only
Hospitals?
Josh.
Only kids at the hospital named Josh.
Only the kid's named
Yeah.
Josh. Well, I thought this was interesting because I was like, what a good idea. It's just funny that somebody figured, like, was like, oh, I'll put this whole fight together. Only people named Josh can come. And it says battle over the right to the name Josh.
To be the one true Josh. I remember this.
The
Now,
one
it's called
Joshua.
Yeah. Even though the real Josh is Jesus.
The real Josh. He's my Josh.
They had costumes with masks and animal suits and football helmets. And I went to this park.
It seems pretty wholesome from what I remember.
Yeah, they let a kid win last time. It was pretty
He
nice.
defended his title. It says 5-year-old Josh Vincent Jr., who defended his title as the number one Josh. He's still the number one Josh.
Forever reign supreme.
Let's go, Josh. Screw you, Josh. You know what you did.
Yeah, you're not as good as Josh.
Yeah. Josh was all right.
Josh was better.
We should start a bing bong fight. I'd be like, whoever wins is the one true bing bong.
It's going to be hard to...
Jokes on everybody. They never finish anything.
It's true. I get distracted halfway through.
They all show up 20 minutes late, and they're like, hey, do you know where it's at?
My GPS told me to go to the corner, and I didn't. I should have gone to the other corner,
Yeah.
so I left.
I ended up at the Josh fight for some reason. And so, but it was a lot of fun. I liked it. I like Josh.
I'm the new Josh.
Real cool guy. No?
There you go. That's all I got.
Yep. I hope you guys out there are named Josh too. I hope you're all a bunch of Joshes.
All the Joshes.
This one goes out to the Josh of our podcast,
Who's that?
McNulty.
Oh yeah.
I don't know this person.
Oh, you know it. We all know the McNulty Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Joshua McNulty.
That's the forbidden server, man.
Yeah. He's the one that
Forbidden server.
it all came crashing down.
Yeah, he was.
And he needed us, and we failed.
So you know how our server just like collapsed whenever God let the rains and the winds all over southern Indiana just blew everything down, and we lost our server for a day. It was like that, except the data didn't come back. and the forbidden what is it? You ever heard the tragedy of McNulty the Wise?
McNulty the Wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Forbidden Project.
It's not someone... TRIFLIX would tell you about.
Yeah, we've talked about it.
I gotcha.
Just not outwardly too much. Yeah, it was a project that we lost, so that's our one, Josh. If you're listening, probably
sorry.
not. That's all right.
It's a perfect example of why we have our file server, though.
Yeah, it's true.
It just, blew up in flames because some dumb.
Not me. Why'd you look at me?
I didn't look
Why'd
at
you go to me? You went to me.
I liked your face.
I wasn't even there.
Speaking of faces, what's your face doing?
It's feeling the breeze.
Yeah, it is.
It's so weird when you shave, and then I shaved, and then I walked out of the bathroom, and I felt a breeze on my face, and I was like, "This is weird."
Dude, you should do your legs next to even it out.
I'm out.
Feel the breeze.
You'll swim faster.
Yeah, but the problem is like 3 days later, I'm just gonna be itching.
Itchy.
I don't want to be itching. Well, you know what I'm itching for? I'm itching to find out why we're here and who we are. Can somebody tell me that?
I can tell you that because I'm bearded. I'm Tristan. I'm the creative director, and you have been hearing the executive producer, man. You just
Who is that?
You just want to be the producer, right? Is that your title you claimed? Because you didn't like executive.
No, I want to be the producer of all producers.
Dude, you produce the producers. That's Cole Ankney, the producer of producers, and over in the other corner of the ring,
producer of Scruff,
the reoccurring
manager, now officially office manager, or no, office is what? What is it?
Office manager.
Office manager, yeah. And owner of a sad excuse for a beard.
Scruff.
That's why I shaved mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're happy you're here to listen
coming.
to some
so
big boys.
You're here. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a good one, guys. It's gonna be a good one.
We got so much lined up.
Yeah, we prepped it 5 minutes ago.
Shut up.
And
No, we didn't.
last episode
We did it weeks ago.
Our production manager put in so much time for this.
wasn't the guy we had on last week named Josh too? Was that his name?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was a J
Doug.
word.
It was a J word.
Yeah.
Jacqueline.
Yeah. He didn't seem very happy to be here. I don't think he liked us.
Yeah, well,
Trying to figure out. I think
he was only 5'3". Maybe he was jealous of our
that might have been it.
We
Might
were
have
just
been it.
towering over him the entire time. He maybe just made him feel really small. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so, well, let's not talk about the past. Let's talk about the future.
There's something I want to start with because this has been on the list and I need Tristan to
Acknowledge.
not acknowledge, no. I need him to elaborate.
Make
I don't
you
know
feel
why.
heard.
I like I just went along with it right off the bat. There's something on the list that says Tristan's corridor nightmare. What's this about?
Dude, I have a reoccurring nightmare. I have a reoccurring nightmare where the principle is the same and like minor details change. There's a company out there that I would love to work for someday.
Small one.
Small company.
Outsourced to work for. I don't actually want to. I'll keep working here.
Well, you're not allowed to.
I'm not allowed to. So that's fine. Because in my dream, I'm not even a paid. I'm like an intern.
You're low man on the totem pole.
Yeah. So I have
the
this
Daniel.
dream where I'm a Daniel, just the lowest on that pole.
Oh no.
Sorry, buddy. Love you.
Oh.
It's basically like that. Where there's a company called Corridor Digital, and they do some sick VFX videos for the viewers out on the internet, all the interwebs, and I really like them because they gave me a big push to do what I do now. Yeah. And in this reoccurring nightmare, I, with no context, just apparently work there, and I'm an intern.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys are aware, but VFX and editing are very different. And 3D work is different as well. Those are three very different categories if you ever wanted to go into the industry. And I'm interning as a VFX and 3D artist, not an editor. And they are just throwing some projects at me that I have no experience doing in real life. But in the dream, it's like, I still have no experience doing it. And I just like somehow got this job. And they're
when
like,
does the nightmare begin?
they're like, hey, so when are you going to have that done by? And like, they just give me a project and then they just start ripping me about like, if I don't have it done by the end of the day, I'm fired and that I have no talent and that I will never like amount to anything in this industry.
Wow.
And I'm just like,
exactly like Daniel's experience.
so this happens like at least a couple times a year. And I wake up and I feel so energized to get back to my company, where no one can talk to me like that, and I can do what I'm good at, which is editing and managing people that edit. Maybe someday we'll
Just
do some
editing.
VFX work, but
I have an anxiety dream like that. So like I'm back in high school and like for some reason I just forgot I had a Spanish class the entire 2 semesters or the entire semester. Like you have to do all your homework in one night or else you have to retake high school.
Whoa.
And it's like a weird anxiety dream. And I wake up and I'm like, I graduated college.
Yeah.
That was so far long ago. Why am I having high school dreams?
I've got an anxiety dream.
what's your
That's
anxiety
reoccurring.
dream? Yeah.
I'm back serving again at the restaurant I worked at.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I just can't do anything right. Everybody's mad at
It's
me.
the worst.
I can't like, I'm like writing stuff down and like the computer, like I put something in and the computer just, it's gone. It
You
just doesn't
idiot.
exist. Doesn't print
It
a
just
ticket.
blows up.
Yeah. And it's just like everybody's so mad at me. Just like, I can't believe you and you suck at this job because I felt like I did.
Yeah.
And it was just everything that could happen happened. And I wake up and I'm just like,
Dude. That's what I always like. I want to, when I get to heaven, everybody's always got their questions, right? We maybe all got different questions, but I just like, it blows my mind. It's like this person I haven't seen in years, or I've never met in person. You project this personality on them and you have a dream about them. And it's like, how many times am I the background character in someone else's dreams?
I never
Or
thought
like
about it.
when I'm the you know? Like, how often does that happen? And it makes me kind of like, I just want to know. Can I see these dreams when I get to heaven? Like, I want to know what other people thought of me, and maybe not like IRL think of me, but like, how do people's like subconsciouses perceive me? Because that's hilarious.
Yeah.
Never thought about it.
It's like, these are my like childhood heroes. Like, I look up to these people like, oh, I want to do cool stuff. And then in my dream, they're like, you suck. You'll never amount to anything. It's like, okay, well, that's reassuring.
Growing up, I played a lot of video games online where like it was community-based servers, they called them. A server is just like a thing that you host on your own and like you can let other people come and play.
Yeah.
But I would be on like the staff on there to help manage it. And so I'd be the guy to be like, oh, like you didn't follow the rules, blah, 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 you're banned. And I'm like 14 doing this. And I'm like really good at it because like I rose up to the ranks to be like administrator.
You rose up to the ranks.
There's ranks on it.
You're gunning down all the offensive people.
Oh yeah, because there'd be people come on there just scream expletives and be like, aha, banned forever, you suck, LOL.
Yeah.
And people be like, how old are you? It's like, oh, I'm like 14. It's like, dude, I thought you were like 21.
Dude, that's a perfect segue into the next into our next little section. But you got your dreams? What do you got? What do you want to ask God when you get up there?
Yeah.
Like,
I felt like God when I was on the server. That's why we brought that up.
Well, are you afraid that like people are going to have bad dreams about you, or do you have like a question?
Sure, they
like,
do.
Yeah.
You got the list. What do you want to go through?
What was the question?
I don't know if I want to know.
I don't know, because you were talking about like continuing the bad dream thing, but I was talking about like the questions for God. You know, like, do you have any weird?
I
you got
have
any
a question for God.
Why? That's just it.
Just
why?
Right? Why? I don't know. I don't know if I really have anything.
Nothing. Just why do I keep having this reoccurring dream of being in a restaurant?
I know why I keep having that reoccurring dream. It's because that dream gave me that job gave me a bunch of anxiety.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be good at it. I think it's really just like a very easy way of seeing how hard I am on myself.
Okay.
And it's just like me pushing myself always constantly to do the job the best I can and never feeling like I'm doing it as good as I could.
Yeah.
And so that dream comes back whenever I think I'm overly stressed about like performing.
Okay.
So I think it's interesting that your anxiety dream is about something that has never happened.
Right? It's a completely fictional scenario.
Yeah, and for Cole and I, it's like things that we've actually experienced. It's like caused us somewhat actual hints of trauma, and yours is like, my dream may not be real.
I should have written down every dream I had during my. I should have written down every dream I had during my divorce because they were creepy.
Oh.
Like I had a lot of like.
Dude, we would have
dreams.
some sick short films.
Oh yeah, it was insane. Like there were so many times like for whatever reason my ex was shooting me, and I would like try to avoid this, or it was like the whole like. You know, Mufasa on the cliff, like, save me. And she's like, bye. Shoves me off the cliff. I had dreams like that all the time.
Yeah.
Were you watching Disney movies with your kids at that time?
I don't know.
Like Aladdin,
like,
you get eat up by the monster.
For whatever reason, I thought, you know, like, it was always like the kids. It was always like trying to get them or whatever. And it was like, and then, you know, this whole like block and tackle type thing, or like I said, trying to shoot me or some crap. I'd wake up from that stuff and just be cold sweats, you know?
Jeez.
Anything else?
Huh?
Do you have any others?
I had a lot of reoccurring dreams as a kid.
Okay.
I used to have to, and I don't know why. I was a pretty chill kid, but I'd have dreams, these reoccurring ones where like figures and stuff would be in them, and it would hop from dream to dream, right? So you'd have like these new dreams.
Dude, you got the Freddy Krueger dream.
Yeah, it was creepy, and it happened a lot to me when I was younger. Like I eventually had to figure out, like it would just happen every night.
Yeah.
And so I just started like praying, and being like, please, God, take the bad dreams away, right? I'm like a little kid. I'm like, I can't handle this stuff because it seems too real. And then they stopped. Huh, and I didn't dream for years.
Wow. I did the same thing when I was a kid.
Creepy.
I would pray like, I don't like dreams that much. Can you like make them stop? And then they stop.
These suck.
Yeah.
Like, stop.
Then I just never went to bed.
Ever again.
Dude, that's...
It's funky.
I remember having dreams where I would like get scared in the dream and I would wake up in the dream from the dream.
Yes.
And
but you're still in the dream.
Yeah, but you're still in the dream, but like
Creepy.
You think you woke up, but you didn't. But it was like very still like you're in a dream. And yeah.
So have you guys ever lucid dream before?
Not really, no.
What is that again?
So don't
Just so I don't.
Don't tell the story if you got one. Just lucid dreaming is like when you're. There's like a way that you can induce it, which is like you lay completely still, and then after a while, your brain like keeps telling you to move physically, and you don't move. You just push through it. And eventually your body will like start to go into sleep mode, but your brain stays active.
Right.
And then you can control your dreams. And the other way is like sometimes you're like in a dream, you're like, I'm in a dream. And then you can control it for the most part.
Yes.
So
yes.
You've had something like that?
Yeah. So I've never been able to start it.
Hold up. Have you?
I haven't now, but I know what lucid dreaming is. I just never.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, David, you said you were a moderator, right? You used to be pretty good at banning people for being explicit.
Yeah.
I really wanted to do this segment for a while. So let's do some random bleeping. Can we get random bleeping? And then I want to hear your dream, a completely PG dream. And then, and then I want to see if we can get to make it a sentence enhanced in post.
This is going to be funny, by the way, because anyways, so
you don't actually have to beep it live. We'll do it in post.
So I always thought it was really cool, the concept of being able to control a dream, because it happened to me on accident for the first time when I was younger. And I was like, this is, you know? And like, it's one of those things where you wake up and you're like, I didn't want to, because it was just like, right? Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that I was obsessed with as a kid was dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And I was like, dinosaurs are so tight. Like, dinosaurs are cool. And so I had this dream once where I literally a Tyrannosaurus Rex and just like, I don't know, Tyrannosaurus Rex does.
It
was so tight because it was so realistic, right?
Yeah.
That it was, I don't know, it was so
Did you
weird.
Some other dinosaurs, or
I
like
mean, I didn't
around?
I just around, you
Sounds
know?
like every high schooler's dream.
But it was so weird to like feel like you're like,
high schoolers T-Rex.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially like guys. Every guy in high school be like, "Oh, this is so awesome! I'm a go around and everything."
Just to be in control.
I don't know. I guess, right?
Just be
cool.
Big.
How old were you?
I don't know. I was younger, maybe bordering double digits. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
that'd be exciting at that age.
It was. I woke up and I was like, oh,
because I think it's really.
I've had a lot of dreams that I was able to. I can't do it anymore, but I used to be able to like be in the middle of and like pull it in.
Yeah. I used to be able to do that too, and I don't know when that stopped, but
now
I miss
we're adults and we suck. Gone because just sucked the out of us.
When you're kids, you think it's going to be great, and then when it happens, it's okay.
Yeah, this sucks.
Yeah, like dreams or growing up or a T-Rex, I don't know.
Yeah,
but I used to be able to like in a dream, and I'd be like, I'm in a dream, and then like you would just be able to everything. I'm like, wow, this is cool. There's like a couple of tricks people can do too if you're in a dream and you can do the thing. There one's like a mirror, which some people like have like panic attacks when they do that, because when they'll see something in the mirror and then like it doesn't break their illusion of the dream and just like
Barney
makes them worse. Barney in the mirror. That's terrifying.
Hi kids. Just wake up.
So the other ones are like clocks and smartphones. Looking at those in your dreams will usually, because they don't function properly in a dream.
Right.
My wife says she can get work in a dream. I'm like, I can't get it to work in real life. So
you just have it before you go to bed.
Go to bed. See, that's my
He
problem.
pulls out his and he's like, cupcake.
Cupcake.
What?
It's all smashed and destroyed from being in your.
I meant like 1.5.
I
miss them naming them after like sweet
Desserts.
treats. Like, why don't they do that?
Makes me so mad.
There's no reason not to.
The last one I know of, I think it was from The Simpsons, is ball. maybe
What?
I'm pretty sure ball from Simpsons is like he would, and like he was able to induce it. Like if he saw, he knew it was a dream.
Yeah.
And then his sister, I believe, starts throwing around, and he starts thinking real life is the dream, and he's just going around doing terrible things. I'm pretty sure that was pretty sure that was
like a Bart
Simpsons
thing to do.
Yeah. So there's like some little tricks people can do aside from just like laying in bed still.
Dude, Inception is one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
of all time. That is a fantastic. I actually own that movie on Blu-ray.
Whoa.
That is a really good movie.
I still think
What's your favorite?
owning. Oh,
I just want to know. I haven't seen the movie, so like, what's the best part in your opinion of it?
I'm pretty sure that's a Nolan movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just, I mean, number one, the way that they're able to control the sets and what they did with the dreams. How like there's one where like Joseph Gordon-Levitt's like being chased by this guy because like your dreams essentially like attack what they see as like an intruder.
Yeah. It's like
So
Yeah.
it's like you have to be careful what you do to not spook the host because then the dream starts to attack that person to try to get them out.
Yeah, it's like a security guard or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds really cool.
So he's fighting these dream people, right? I mean, this is all looks, of course, true to life, right?
Yeah.
But like the whole room is like spinning essentially. It's like a corridor of a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like fighting them as they're like hitting the ceiling and going around. Like they actually did the physical like spinning of this thing in like a set. And just the way that they were able to construct it all, the dreams, and make you like sometimes you didn't know when you were watching the movie if they were in a dream or if they were in real life. So it was just really immersive.
Yeah, that movie. I think I do remember that just from reading and hearing about. They use a spinning top, right? Like that's instead of the red ball.
That's
like,
his. If it stops spinning, then he knows he's in real life. But if it continues to spin, it never stops. Which, if you haven't seen it, that's on you. But I'm going to spoil this whole thing. Like the biggest part of that movie that's like generated all this like fanfare, like just like all these stories and fan theories, just because the movie ends and the whole time he's just trying to see his kids, and the movie ends, he's at home and he walks outside to see his kids, and the top is sitting there spinning on the table, and so you don't know whether he's out of the dream world or still in it, and then it's done.
I like that movie.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
I just like anything Christopher Nolan. I'm like, but that's still like Leonardo DiCaprio, also one of my favorite actors. Like the whole thing is very good. We should watch that sometime.
Definitely.
Sorry.
That
Tristan.
concludes random bleeping.
You should talk about your favorite movie while I step out and use the bathroom.
Okay. You know what? Random
gotcha.
bleeping continues. I'm just kidding. I don't know what we're gonna do.
I hope we don't. That'd be a long segment.
That would be.
Sorry, guys.
What is my favorite movie? I haven't seen it for a while, but it was probably The Greatest Showman, man. That movie just kills it. It's so good. The story's just good. The shots are good. The VFX are good. Everything about it's good. The music, I like the music. I'm not usually a musical guy, but I like that a lot.
I know a lot of people liked the movie. It wasn't my jam.
I don't know, man. The redemption, the character arc of that movie just solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if, like almost all the characters have one in some way. And
Right.
I feel like that's kind of the difference between what I call the boomer movies.
My kids love that movie.
It's good.
They love that movie.
They don't
They
even
know all the songs too.
I don't know any of the songs.
They could
So-
sing them to you.
They should.
I've got videos of them screaming them at the top of their lungs.
I just know this is the greatest show, and that's the only lyrics I know to any of them.
The name of the movie.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no, I just really like the character arcs, man.
That's funny.
They're just killer.
You've mentioned that multiple times, so
Yeah, there's like most of the movies I like are usually character arc based. There's like a couple like Expendables. There's just like guts, blood, and guns. And that's awesome. But most of them are
Expendables.
just. I do like Expendables. The movie's freaking awesome.
I just like that they got all those guys together.
Yeah.
Like I'm for the movies that are like the super group, you know? It's like it's just like Avengers or not so much Justice League, but
Isn't Danny Trejo in Expendables?
I think so.
Yeah, I just watched. It's really funny because that's the last time I saw him on TV or movies or anything was
Machete.
like just this murdering, killing dude in Expendables, and then he was on Smosh when they do like a food thing. Apparently he owns taco places throughout California. And it was really funny because it was like a Disney-esque show, and Danny Trejo's in the corner, like threatening people over tacos. And it's just like, it was such an interesting dynamic because, like, I don't know, he's like over 60 plus, like he's getting older, and he's just not as threatening in appearance anymore.
It's fun seeing him. He pops up in like most random things now.
Really?
He was a
78.
Yeah, I was gonna say 70, but I didn't want to insult him if he was younger.
I mean, he's old. I mean, you look at him, he's old. But
I don't think he's ever looked any different.
Yeah, he looks like he's been out in the sun.
Like a raisin.
He was a reoccurring like guest character in The Flash.
Really?
Yeah. He was like a father character to one of the superheroes. They were more like they were a superhero. But yeah, it was just like funny to see him show up. Yeah, he just does like random things because I think he just doesn't care anymore. He just wants to have fun.
What's your favorite movie?
He wasn't he also in Spy Kids?
Oh, yeah, he was. That was a great movie.
Yeah,
him and who's the guy, the famous Spaniard?
Oh, are you talking about Antonio Banderas?
Yeah, dude, I can't believe we got both those people to play in those movies.
He's Puss in Boots too.
Yeah.
Boots in Boots.
My favorite movie?
Yeah.
Probably Interstellar. That's kind of an older,
really
chosen favorite.
That's
I haven't
a good movie.
reevaluated it. It is a good movie. I like it a lot. But I don't know. I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was like somewhat original, had a fun story.
See, I love the ones that end when you're kind of like, what? And you really have to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're really kind of like in it, and then you have to kind of like make sure you're paying attention to put all the pieces together.
Yeah,
and that was one of those
trying
ones.
to tell you like exactly what happened, and there's a lot of things like left up like we don't know, blah blah blah, but it did, and it's nice.
That was a cool movie. Have you seen that? Interstellar?
Mm-mm.
That's good.
It's a wonderful movie. I recommend it.
And that Matthew McConaughey.
Oh yeah, McConaughey.
All right.
Oh,
I saw a video the other day. Someone posted, and it was a dog saying it. It really said it. I mean, you know what I mean. It sounded like it.
He was like a Snapchat filter on him.
No. I wish we could do that. I wish we could do it with our cameras. Like if there was a way to use like software.
I think there is, but we have to do something special. We'll
use
try
like an
that sometime.
API.
Yeah, we'll.
You could set that up.
Yeah.
Big brain.
Yeah, I could. I'll have to do it without telling one of you. One of you will have to be in the dark.
Yes.
And then I'll just turn it on one time.
Like that guy.
I'll forget by next week. You can do it.
It's true.
What were we talking about?
Honestly, I don't remember.
We just finished kind of talking about movies. We kind of went off the rails, which is fine.
I should.
One of the other things that I put on here that I wanted to talk about was we had just kind of watched some videos about guys that are spamming spammers.
Yes.
There's a couple things that I wanted to bring up because you guys got my wheels turning. I'm trying to think which one I want to talk about first. Have you guys ever seen the guy that makes the glitter bomb?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Rober. Yep.
Yeah.
Rover?
Rober.
See, I'm going to keep... he's still Mark Rover.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Indiana, you could say whatever you want.
As long as you're 80% there.
Did get most letters.
I just watched a
TRIFLIX.
video of his. Yeah. I just watched a video of his, and he is a boss. Like, he straight infiltrated all the way into, like, finding where these people worked.
Right.
And they sent people to India to, like, pose as people to work there. They got hired, and then they were going to, like, put these pranks, like, in the buildings. Like, they had all these different things set up.
It's like top secret, super sneaky business.
Yeah.
Wow. It was
They
insane.
hacked their, what is it, CCTV, right?
Yeah, their closed circuit. Yeah, CCTV.
Yeah, they hacked that and were able to, like, watch these people as they were... I mean, they could watch the whole facility as it worked.
Yeah.
They're
pretty, like...
Sounds illegal.
Well, no. It's
They were
not
working with authorities.
Illegal. Well, yes,
Kind
they were
of.
working with authorities, but, like, the way these scammers do stuff...
The government's like, we need to stop these people. There's only one person, Mark Rover.
I know, right?
We need a YouTuber to help stop this corruption.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot of attention on it because there's a lot of crime. But they remote.
That's a lot of money.
The scam, how it typically works is they remote into some probably elderly person's PC, and they control it, and they like either set up viruses on it or locks on it, so they basically force them or trick them into paying them money. But these scammers aren't very competent with using these tools, and so they allow you to also control their computer if you know what to do, and it's just kind of part of it. But like half of them are just horrible at using this stuff, and so you can control their computer too if you let them control yours. And so that's how they can get into their stuff, because they're letting them do it and they just don't know any better.
Yeah, they got all the details. I mean, they knew where everybody was working, what the hierarchy was, like what all these people's names were.
Yeah.
Because they ended it, because like they kind of caught on. I guess there was like the equivalent of like the chat stuff. What's the big ones that like Slack,
WeChat, Discord,
yeah,
Google Chat,
so
WhatsApp,
whatever they were using internally,
Telegram,
they had access to it. And so as soon as some things started to happen out of the ordinary, these people were like messaging each other, and they were just like locking down security. And
it was hilarious watching it happen.
Yeah,
I'll have to check this out. This
my
sounds
favorite
really cool.
favorite part of the whole thing is like towards the end, they're like they kind of like they achieved some of their goal. They were able to actually take down one of them, where all the people, they were arrested.
Yeah.
Authorities, were able to kind of shut down the operation to a certain degree. One of the bigger ones they weren't able to do much with, but they were still able to poke the bear a little bit.
Yeah.
And scared him big time.
Oh, yeah.
But at the end, they show a couple of the guys that can hack into the computers and talk to these people. They were on the phone with them, and all of a sudden, like, they're showing this camera footage from inside their facility, and the guy's talking, and you can hear it, and he's like, says their name while they're talking, and she just goes, and then he says, and I know you're sitting next to blah, 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 and they're just like,
like, it's almost like kind of excited, like, oh my gosh, is this a prank or something? Like, they don't seem like super terrified, because
not at all.
They're not very in the game of what's really happening. They think they're kind of working a normal job. I think most of them are aware it's like you're just scamming people.
Yeah.
But it's like, it just seems,
it's pretty messed up. But it was interesting to kind of watch the whole thing, and he breaks it all down, and they've really been working with people and trying to get some of this stuff figured out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a big deal. Because David just kind of explained one of the ways that they attack people. And the new way that I'm finding out, because I got a message from my grandma over the weekend and was talking to her, and she goes, I put a fridge on Facebook Marketplace. And she goes, literally within like 30 minutes, I got a lead. And she goes, they're coming to pick up my fridge today. She goes, but they told me that they wanted to verify I was a real person, and so they're sending me a 6-digit code, and I need to send it to them and verify.
Yeah, dude, they try to do that to me.
Yeah, so what they do is they make a Google Voice account in your name, and then they send you, because they've got your phone number at this moment, so now they're putting in your phone number to verify the account. Yeah, and then they ask for the 6-digit code to verify, and people are sending it.
Yeah.
What are they able to do after that?
I mean, it's basically your Gmail account at that point.
They kind of can just spoof you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not just the phone at that
identity,
point.
I think, at some point, right?
So if you have a Gmail account, generally, if you're like David, you probably do 2-factor authentication,
which everybody should do.
But I don't, because mine's not linked with a phone number, right?
Yeah, because you're bad at making decisions security-wise.
That's fair. But but if you have a backup phone number, and your phone number gets spoofed, so like whenever you type in, you like say forgot your password, they say this is your phone number, and then you can like push yes, and it'll send a little message to your phone, and then you verify either with 6-digit or a yes and no with like 2 numbers that you send back over, either way. And people are requesting that information because they have your Gmail and or your phone number or whatever, and they're requesting for that information. It's really smart on their part, but it only works if you have a secondary backup for resetting passwords. If you don't, then they can't get in.
So a large part of these scams is the best medicine for it is actually just awareness. So they call you saying they are like the IRS, or that they're like Google or your bank. They'll basically say that they are anything. They'll be very like high pressure on you that there's some bill outstanding and that you need to send them money, and then they'll either tell you to do like a bank wire transfer, or they'll tell you to go out and buy gift cards, like an absurd amount of money on gift cards, like $2,000 worth, $1,000, and then they just tell you to send them like the cards, and so you just they trick you into thinking you owe money, and then they make you buy gift cards, which makes it basically kind of untraceable, or really hard to trace back that money to them. And so they're very sneaky. They've gotten very good at it, and they prey on elderly people. So if you have any elderly people or people who are just maybe not super tech savvy, and just are too nice, and will just trust people who call them, please let them know that if like you don't. Basically, if they get a call from somebody saying they're from a bank or whatever, just tell them to hang up and look up the official number to whoever blah, blah, blah is, and then call them directly instead of having somebody call you. Yeah. Nobody's going to call you and ask you to pay you money.
Yeah, I mean, my grandma just got lucky. The fact that it wasn't working.
Yeah, and this is crazy, the new way. I'd not heard of that.
Yeah, and I just double checked. Because obviously it's a big deal, so there's an article here, and I was double checking kind of why they're doing it. And it's literally just because at that moment in time, now they can use your identity online to be able to set up their own scams. And then you're on the hook, essentially, right? Okay. It's like this person. So she called me and she's like, yeah, no, I've been waiting on the 6-digit code and it won't come through. And I was going to send it or whatever. And I was like, I started out, because I've sold a lot on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah. Haven't heard of this scam, but I know of all the other ones, because as soon as you list something on Marketplace, the first lead you get is always spam. Yep. Because it's fast. It comes in right away, and you're like, oh, they want to offer you full price, no haggling, like none of the normal stuff. And they can't spell usually. Like, it's all pretty bad. Yeah. And so that's a red flag. And so I start asking her these questions, and then I'm like, give me a second. And I pull it up on the computer, and I was like, they're not coming to get your fridge. And this is all a huge scam. Please don't reply. Don't do anything. Just leave it be. And she was like, that is just ridiculous. You can't do anything without somebody trying to screw it up. No. And I was like, I know. Yeah.
That's why I always ask, like, whenever I get stuff like that, it's like, they want my verification that I'm a real person, so that I always flip it. I was like, prove you're a real person. I'm like, hold up a napkin with a something crazy drawn on it, like a chicken holding a gun.
And then I love it.
Usually,
just your own captcha.
Yeah, it's my own captcha, and most of the time, it's spam because they don't want to do it. Every once in a while, it's a real person, and they'll actually send you something funny.
Yeah, they might know who I am if they see my brand of napkins I buy.
It's a win-win.
Because I mean,
you get a picture back.
If a scammer does something, they don't want their face linked to anything, right? Yeah. And then if it's somebody buying it, they're like, yeah, whatever. I don't want it that bad, or fine, whatever. It's funny. So you just kind of rolling the dice, and most of the things I don't need to sell immediately. So it's like, yeah, whatever. I can let it sit for a couple more days.
Yeah, sketchy stuff. Sketchy stuff.
Man,
I know. Isn't that messed up?
It's smart. That's that's much more advanced than the prince of whatever's needs money to send me money and I'll direct deposit you all my kingdom's wealth. Yeah, that's hard. That's pretty far fetched, but verify you're a real person. That sounds pretty standard.
The funny thing is I bet the reason why that it didn't work out is because she has a home phone, and they were probably trying to send it to a landline.
That's the takeaway. Then switch to landlines.
Just quit texting.
Yeah.
No, anytime you would get a message like that, because it's going to come through from Google. Mm-hmm. You're going to get a Google message that's going to say, here's your G code, because normally it's G hyphen whatever the 6-digit code is. And so it's like, that's a red flag right from the get-go. Yeah. Because anything official comes straight from the app. Yeah. If you have Android, it's built into the system. Yeah. If you have iOS, it comes from Gmail. But it still is a yes or a no question and not, a text message.
There's a similar scam, which I think is completely this company's fault. They should have never done this. So there's the chat app called Discord.
Yeah.
They thought it'd be like, oh, you know what everybody has? They probably have Discord on their phone, and every phone has a camera. And so like when they want to sign in to a new computer, why don't they just scan a QR code to sign in? So all you have to do is go boop, and then you're signed in. A QR code.
Yeah, right. Something you can screenshot. You can
and share around and just be like, hey, scan this QR code to win a free $100. You scan it through Discord and you just lost your Discord account because it's like the morons over there is like, hey, let's make it the easiest way to scam people as possible.
I've got the 2-factor on all my stuff, and a lot of times I use the apps. So like the G Authenticator, that's a great app, and like Adobe, in my Adobe account, I have an Adobe Authenticator app.
Yep.
And so if you ever try to log in, the app has to pull up, and a lot of times you have to match the numbers too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love whenever I'm in a hurry.
It's a $60 a month product. I don't want someone stealing my account.
Yeah.
No, it's not that.
Especially when it's like your Gmail account, which is like your account that can control all of your other accounts.
Yeah. It's
you
my
need
life.
to have a way to secure that and make sure nobody can just grab it.
Yeah.
My password's like 30 characters long.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I switched to LastPass, and that's pretty awesome. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It just manages
Password
all for
managers,
me.
I use one. I don't remember most of my passwords. I use that
I
now.
just remember one password. Everything else is unmemorized. One password to rule them all.
All my Gmail accounts are not saved. I know what all those passwords are.
Yeah.
Bank accounts don't save. I don't have any of those saved on LastPass. Like LastPass is just for everything else.
Dude.
Like I'm very specific about it, just in case.
I know so many people that just have Google Keeps and like notepads in their own house. So just laying out.
It's just like at the end of the day, though. I mean, I don't know. Somebody got into my Gmail account. Like I've got like 8 Google Homes.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like most of my credit cards are saved on Google Pay. So it's like 90% of my life and like my everything. Like think about it. Like there's actual audio history that's saved in your account from all the times that you access your Google Home. So like as soon as you say something to it and you talk to it, it saves that portion of text, or not text, but voice audio.
Yeah.
And you can go back through and listen to all that. I mean, you can delete it, but I mean, who does that?
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's creepy.
I don't know. I
lock it down. I wish everything was a fingerprint, you know?
That actually.
Some people are scared about leaving fingerprints everywhere. It's like you touch something,
but you can't. I mean, that was like they tried to spoof the iPhone a long time ago, like with Touch ID.
Yeah.
And they used like
some people
like
have
the
this
tape.
identical thumbprints. It's uncommon, but there's they had an issue with that.
Impossible.
No, it's like a legit thing. There's a prison case where they did the ink test or whatever, and their thumbprints were identical, and they had 2 people in the same, not in the same cell, but in the same prison. And then like the names got switched up. And there's also another case where they didn't do the thumbprints, but they had 2 people that looked identical with the exact same name in the same prison with similar birth dates. I don't know. They just look super close. And like, so 2-factor authentication is good. You should have the name, the face, and the thumbprint. You should just have them all.
It's actually multi-factor authentication. You have a lot of different ways.
Oh, that's true.
But 2-factor is the bare minimum now. 1-factor is just password.
No, it's
right.
Yeah.
See, the problem with 2-factor is people like me that just leave their phone around. Like I'm at the office, which is a block away. Sometimes I leave my phone there. Sometimes leave it in the car. Sometimes leave it at my dad's house, which is a city away. Sometimes I just don't have my phone with me. And
we yell at you every time you don't.
Yeah, but that's not going to change anything.
Yeah.
It's not like I got to tie it like a grandma or grandpa or whatever with like your glasses tied to the back of your head so you don't lose them. Guess what?
Might have to.
They hang on your chest and you still can't find them. You know?
Wow.
Well, that's me. That's me with my phone. It doesn't matter if it's in my pocket, my backpack, my card, my house. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to forget it. And that's fine. Because I just want a system that works for me. I don't the security, whatever. What are they going to take? What are they going to take?
Oh no.
Everything.
Oh, then what? Like
they've got my 75,000
Once
photos.
I've lost everything, you
Then
can't
what?
take anything from
I don't
me.
know, just use less digital stuff, I guess. That's the
All right,
the
I'd like to see you try.
I don't know.
That'd be a fun series.
Yeah.
See,
I try purging so much. A lot of the stuff subscriptions my wife likes to have around. I'm fine with not. I don't watch TV. I don't really do anything. The Gmail's the worst one though because that's tied to banking. Outside of that, there's really like I still prefer to go to the bank in person. If there was a 24/7 bank open within a couple blocks of my house, I would choose that over anything with digital access.
It's so easy to just snap a picture of a check.
I just like walking down and seeing people. Be like, hey, what's up? How you
You don't
doing?
need a bank to do that.
You don't need you don't have to walk in person and to talk to somebody.
Oh, I
and
thought
drop
you
off
meant
a
like
check.
you just like seeing people.
Yeah, we get to talk every
No,
day.
no, it's like nice. You get to go for a walk a couple blocks down. You go Centra. Hey, how's it going? What's up? I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, Jamie? What's up, April? I don't know. I like that person. That's why I live downtown. I like to see reoccurring people. That's why I work in an office, like a shared space.
I switched banks a couple years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I really dislike about my previous bank is there's not two-factor authentication to log into my bank account online.
Yeah.
There's still not that in my new bank account, which does have two-factor
I was going to say
authentication.
Chase does.
But it's just, I don't get that. Why is my Gmail account more secure than my bank account online? That's bad.
You just set up LastPass, make sure every password's like 100 characters, and then you just have one password to run them all, and then you don't need two-factor. Just make it 100 character long. Symbols,
But do you also
captchas, everything. Throw it all in there.
Do you use the like the fingerprint access for the apps that use it?
I used to not, and then I just got tired of typing in 100 long passwords.
Yeah.
I just started doing that recently.
I will say, like, I knocked Face ID for a very long time.
I did too.
It's like the fingerprint it's there, it's easy. They don't have to have a scan of my face, whatever.
I still prefer it though.
What, fingerprint?
Yeah, I'd still rather have a fingerprint than Face ID.
The only thing is it works really well. And it's thinkless. It's one of those things, like, I've heard this a lot and I agree with it. And it's like, and I think this is where Tristan's coming from. It's the technology should work with you, not against you.
Yeah.
And it should be seamless. It's one of those things where you don't have to fight, but it just works. And it does the things for you to help ease your day, not make it harder. Yeah. And so I do understand Tristan's issue with two-factor authentication. Obviously, I understand the other side of the argument. That's why I use it, because it's important. And if there's another method, that would be awesome, but there isn't.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that it's like, I pull up my Chase app, it reads my face without me having to do anything, enters the password, boom, done. I'm in the app.
See, I would rather them, which they have done this on a lot of other devices that they're still releasing, just put a fingerprint sensor on the freaking lock button. Because when I hold my iPhone, is I hold it like this, and I even hold it like that when I take it out of my pocket. Yeah. So it's being unlocked before I even look at the screen by my thumb resting there. And I don't even have to do anything. And it's unlocked.
Yeah.
And like I have to stare at my phone like some old grandma to make it unlock properly.
It works pretty well though. It doesn't work. It's not like that bad. You don't have to do it like that.
But if I'm like having a conversation, like, and I don't want to be staring at my phone, I'll take my phone out and then I'll like hold it there and it doesn't grab it. And it goes like, oh, you have to type in your password now.
For the face ones to work, I'm pretty sure it only is on phones with LiDAR. Because it's not just a visual thing. And the fact that you wear glasses makes LiDAR more difficult, because LiDAR goes through glass, I'm pretty sure.
It's light.
Unlike, because the reason
actually does really well with glasses.
Oh, does it?
So like if I have sunglasses on, it unlocks.
So what's your problem?
I said you have to be looking at it. You have to be looking at the phone for it to unlock.
Well,
how do you use a phone without looking at it?
I think you can turn that off. But the deal, there's a reason
that I just
there's a reason for that though.
Well, yeah,
they had to change that because people were just taking people's iPhones while they were asleep and showing their face and then getting in their phones, and so Apple made it to where you had to be freaking awake.
So that is one advantage the Face ID has over a fingerprint sensor, but. What I was complaining about is when I take out my phone when I'm talking to someone, it's not going to unlock until I like stare at my phone, which I just did, and then now it unlocked.
See, I don't know if you guys are aware, but I was just in Cancun at an all-inclusive vacation.
Oh my gosh!
Oh man!
So
another vacation coming up wasn't enough.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Another one. Here's the thing:
we'll miss you. No.
You got a lockbox in your hotel room. You leave stuff behind, whatever. Let's say you're out in the water. You drop your phone. I don't have signal because I'm in Mexico or wherever you're at, regardless, wherever you're at, if you don't have signal and you need to access anything, like I dropped my phone, I have no way of two-factoring anything. How do I get my bank information?
Why are you trying to two-factor something out on the beach?
No, like you drop your phone, you drop your wallet, whatever. Like, how do I? Let's say even if I had my wallet, like, how do I access my bank account now? I'm out of state. I'm out of country. How do I get a hold of anybody?
Well, that's why I said multi-factor. You like set up your email. You set up your phone.
They give you other options.
You're supposed to have other options set up.
I've done that before.
Anything that requires me to use my phone to get access to it is just dumb. Unless I have like,
I feel like you would rather live just even in a passwordless world. Like you just want to go onto a site.
The Face ID is a passwordless world. That would be fine with me.
No, your face is the password.
Yeah, that's fine because then it works with me, like Cole's saying.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I'm saying like no security at all. You just want to go and you just like, hey, I'm Tristan. Like, here's everything. You can have it.
Yeah, I would like that better because small community, you only know the people you know. Fine,
perfect.
That'd be great.
The perfect world.
It'd be cool that if like you sat down at your computer and it Face ID'd you, and then everything was just unlocked at that moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like a little bubble around you, like all your devices get unlocked.
Yeah, it's like just your space. Like, you're there. It's verified you. It'll continually verify you. And as long as you're the person sitting there, you go to that website, it's automatically passwords in, you're done.
Well, that's what it would be like LastPass if LastPass enabled like Face ID or something.
You know, the thing that you just described is going to be coming in like next 5 years.
Doesn't surprise me.
Apple, Google, all those people. What was that acronym that people were throwing around now? It's like Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Facebook, Google. It's like FANG. That's what they call it. FAANG.
Oh, okay.
All those people, all the big boys, they got together one evening and decided that they're going to back this thing called, I forget what it's called, like web authentication. So basically it uses a super fancy version of Bluetooth on your phone, and it can just talk to your computer that you're with that supports it, and it just knows it's you, and it lets you in. So that's even a more reason to have your phone on you, Tristan, because then you don't even have to do anything. All you have to do is have it in your pocket. Your computer will know it's you because you have to have your phone. No. And then bada bing, bada boom, you're in.
No, not because I have my phone on me. You lost me there.
You're going to be the one that gets the chip, just so you don't have to deal with it.
Honestly, yeah, I probably would.
Chip's done.
You get that little iPhone.
He doesn't have to do anything. It's just the chip's there. No matter where he goes, it's there. It's done.
Yeah.
That is the kind of the nice thing about the watch, I think.
Yeah, I forget to charge mine because it only has a 2-day lifetime. Like, you have to, like, constantly recharge
They're all that way, dude.
I know. That's why that's the problem.
I have to charge mine every morning before I leave, or it will not last the second day.
I still don't understand why that bothers you. You have to put gas in your car. You have to charge your phone. You have to charge your laptops. Like, it's just...
I just
forget about it. That's the thing. Is like, I'll have somewhere to be, and I'll end up being late because I was like, I forgot to fill my tank with gas. The difference is,
who forgets that?
I don't think...
Who forgets I don't know. I have to feel like taking gas. I'm about
it's
to
like
do
at
it
night. You know what I do? I put my phone on the charger. Yeah. So that the next day,
I don't always do
I'm
that.
good.
Sometimes I forget it.
That's weird.
No, because there's a charger in the office. I'm just like, I'll charge later.
See, that's the
There's
problem.
a gas station everywhere. There's a charger everywhere. I just expect
discipline.
things.
You lack discipline, sir.
Yeah.
That's your problem, is you lack discipline.
It's 2022. Things should be convenient.
I should never have to do anything
in the middle
because
of
I don't want to do it.
Well, I mean, if you paid for it.
You're not paying for it. You're not paying anything to charge your phone. You have to do it yourself.
Well, kind of.
I mean, I bought the charger, and I buy like 20 extra chargers so that they're available.
You bought the meat in your freezer. Why doesn't it cook itself?
Well, the difference is the meat's always there because I bought it once. But no, that's like 2 different points. Those are 2 different points. Those do not coincide. Those don't coincide at all. The charger.
I'm so glad I don't live in whatever world it is you live in.
I go to Sam's Club like once a month to get all my food and vegetables.
Yeah.
It's like once a month. And if I don't, guess what? I just go eat out until I remember to go to the store.
I'm surprised you don't have your groceries delivered.
No, dude. They always pick the worst ones. They always pick you add vegetables and they get the ones that are all beaten up from the back. It looks like
you got to use different services.
It looks like they owed somebody money whenever they deliver them. I'm not doing that. Plus, you usually have to pay for the service.
I want my vegetables to look like they've been photoshopped.
Yeah. That's what I want.
That's not reality.
I mean, I always buy organic, so it's whatever.
So that's why they should look beaten up. The advertisement.
Dude, how many times you order a burger and you go in and they like put it on your plate and you're like, yeah, this does not look anything like what it was depicted.
Well, here's the thing, though. We're the people who do that.
Yeah, I know.
Like we're the ones who produce the things that are not reality. We take hours.
Picture perfect.
That's why I'm slowly giving you all the jobs that I don't. I don't want to be a producer and deal with social media.
Like,
I don't want to do the accounting and deal with like 2-factor authentication banking.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
You shouldn't. You're out. You're done. I'm not letting you manage any of it. See, this is why you forget to charge your phone at night, and then you're gonna forget to. I don't know.
Think of it this way:
the IRS.
If you go to the same bar enough, they just stop IDing you.
Yeah,
all right. That's what I want. That's how I want the banks to be. They just know me. I don't have to show my ID.
You have like the best, worst technology ideas. Just like get a security expert in here, just listen to you, take all these notes, and then just do the exact opposite of everything you say.
That's probably a good idea.
I really want to say, because Tristan's due for a phone upgrade, and we've been talking about this. I've been trying to talk him into something else. Like, it's time, because I think that's where your service problems arise, is because you need the newer bands.
Oh yeah, 5Gs and stuff.
I mean, less of that, but like I think there are there's more bands on top of that you're like missing out on because they're changing spectrum now, right? So it's like as those technologies change, you need to have support for that. And so we were having this discussion, and I'm like, I showed Tristan this phone, and I know you've seen it. It was made by Energizer, and it had like a 24,000 milliamp hour battery.
I looked at that before I bought this one. Actually, it was they have several models. It's like their extended life battery. It's
phones. Like 5 inches thick. The thing's a brick, like an actual brick you could build a house out of.
Yeah. I usually keep my phone in my backpack so it wouldn't weigh me down at all.
Well, they said it lasts like 11 days or something like that.
Oh, it's more than that.
Maybe it was more than that.
It was like 30 days.
Oh,
the thing's awesome.
It's like they just strapped a battery bank to the back of a normal phone.
That's awesome.
It's like, joke's on you, it takes 8 days to charge.
Probably.
You're just
that would
make
buy
sense.
a new phone instead of charging it.
That would make sense. That'd be pretty.
I can see you doing that.
I
just buy a new phone if it's charged every time, because he's like, I didn't charge this one. Buy another one.
Yeah, I don't really take photos with my phone anymore. Like I just check Monday to do our project stuff, and that's like Google Calendar and Gmail, and that's like all I use my phone for. It's not a.
Me too.
You do not. No. I've seen your phone.
Hey, my screen time was down 6% over last week.
Oh my gosh.
Hey man, I'm the marketing guy, so
honestly, I really want to do. I want to do the different OS. There's you can. Oh gosh. There's you root your phone and you put a different OS on it, so that way you can
do Cyanogen mod.
Yeah, Cyanogen mod, the classic. It's not called that anymore. It's called something different now.
No, why did they change it?
Why?
They like became a real company and they stole the name.
Boo.
Do you want to know why I want to do something really stupid?
Yeah, what's up
with my phone?
What's up, buddy?
Just so I can get ad blocker on Chrome.
You can do that.
You can't get it on Chrome.
Download Brave. It's built on Chrome, and you can use that on your phone. Yeah, it supports all that.
Really?
Yes.
Does it work with LastPass?
Yeah, it works with all the extensions that work with Chrome.
Well, that sounds way easier.
Dude, I like Brave. I switched all my stuff over to it.
Yeah, they're not getting my $10 subscription that requires me to use 2-factor authentication to change.
So like Brave is like a good middle balance. It's not like I have a bunker in the backyard, I'm using this browser because it's quote unquote, keeping me safe.
Yeah. Like
Brave is very transparent, so they show you what's happening with like tracking. And so, you can see it, be aware of what's happening. It's very, it's like when you go to their version of the incognito mode, it's like, hey, listen, like, it's kind of private, but it's not really, like understand that these websites can still track you. Like it's very upfront about what you're doing, but it does open up a lot of things from Chrome that you can't normally do.
David,
it's a good browser.
Is there a way whenever I go to a website and they ask me for my cookies and I don't want to give my cookies, but I'm just lazy and I just hit the yes all button? You just shut the jar. Is there a way to like prevent that from ever popping up, or is that just the way of the future?
Deny all cookies. You can probably set that up.
Europe forced it. Like they legislated so like websites have to
Safari
be more
doesn't Safari have like anti-tracking?
I think so, yeah. Apple's
they pissed off Facebook and everybody.
Yeah. So what do you do with that, David? How do you handle those websites?
I just ignore it.
You know what's funny is we've come full circle. I just never
say a button.
Yeah. Have you guys thought about that? Like we came full circle in this conversation with like spammers and stuff, and now we're back at like private browsing. Like that's somebody stealing your cookies.
Yeah. What are the cookies?
Yeah,
what do they do? Why do I not want to give them?
Okay.
David, give me the cookie spiel. I just figured I'd put the lid back on and no one will get my data.
Well, okay. So cookies are actually ways for websites to put their data on your computer. It's just like a tiny little file, like a size of a cookie, and they can just put it on your...
It's a little cookie.
It's a...
Cookies I eat are bigger than... David just explained a tiny little mini cookie.
And it's just a way to store information on your computer So like whenever you log into like Google...
It's viruses.
And you close your web browser and you open it back up, you're still logged in.
Yeah,
That's cookies for you. Cookies are good, but they can also use cookies to like track like where you are. A big example of how Facebook took advantage of cookies is the like button. If you notice, when Facebook got super big, you saw like buttons on like every single page. Like you'd go to like BuzzFeed.com and you'd see the Facebook like button and say like this on Facebook. That allows Facebook to know that you are on BuzzFeed.
Yeah.
Because that is Facebook's
Embedded.
loaded button.
Yeah.
Because that's from Facebook. And that allows them to know that, hey, you are on BuzzFeed and you are looking at this thing. And so it was all engineered to do that. And so
does it like how does it impact me as a consumer? Like what are the downsides of this?
So one company doing it doesn't make too much of an impact. It's when they do it, multiple companies doing it, and also doing it on like tons of different websites, and they have bunches and bunches of data on what you do. And so that lets them like kind of predict like what you're going to do next.
They create a profile on you.
Yeah. They just, like you're around someone for a long time, you kind of learn what they like and what they don't like. That's what websites are using cookies for. They're just observing you and figuring out, what you're into. Do you like cookies or do you like potato chips or do you like Twinkies? They're stalking you on a mass level, and they can just.
So aside from
Google's built a business on this.
Aside from trying to sell me stuff, like does this slow down my computer or like am I going to get hacked? Like, is there really any downside other than they just can sell me more accurate?
They're just creeping on you, and they know how to manipulate you because they kind of understand you on like what really gets you to click on something and what makes you want to buy something. So it's basically advanced manipulation, and it's like they shouldn't be doing that.
I thought it was way worse. That sounds nice actually, because it's like I'm on the internet. Sometimes I open my phone to Chrome and I just don't even know what I'm looking for. And it's like, hey, maybe you should put something for me that I actually want to look at, because right now there's nothing.
Oh, yeah. And then they sell that data to other people.
That's the problem.
But like, I mean,
that's the real kicker.
Here's maybe I need
David
something.
Baker's profile. Sell it to,
It's like, hey, I can tell you what Cole Ankney likes for about $10,000.
But like isn't that a good thing? Because like, I mean, okay, you came over and saw my table that one time, and ever since then you've had like a million.
No, don't talk about it because it stopped.
About the Transformer 3.0 table, the Transformer 3.0 table, and how awesome it is, and how everyone should have a Transformer 3.0 table in their home. So I got this cool table.
Which Autobot?
It's a big wooden bot.
Optimus Prime.
It's actually compacted. This like massive like 12-person table is my currently like 2-foot end tables right now because it compacts so much. But you start getting a ton of advertising for this Transformer 3.0 table and Transformer benches. I'm really hoping this kicks in on our ads.
Oh, I just got rid of them.
So instead of a car turning into a giant robot, it's a table that turns into a giant table.
Yeah, it's a tiny table that turns into a giant table. And he thought it was like cool until he started getting a ton of ads for it. And because of like how the whole net neutrality, as soon as you went home, it like infested your home computer and your wife's phone and your phone, and everybody's social media in your house has Transformer tables on it. So I'm really hoping this picks back up.
No. No.
There's some instances where like the advertising's annoying, but I feel like if you don't want it, just kind of pisses you off more. Like it makes you not want it, right?
Did you guys watch?
Is that counterintuitive?
Did you guys watch Google I/O?
No, I'm not.
I've been watching little clips of it, mainly the web developer related stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they introduced a new, what do you want to call it? It's I don't know what you would call it. Like It's a screen that you can go and change some things around in setting wise. So it's like a console. There you go. That's what I was trying to get at. So it's like a console that you can log into on your Google account, and you can critique the ads. So you can now tell Google, I'm interested in this, I'm not interested in this. I like this company, I don't like this company. Don't show me this, show me this.
They've had that on YouTube for a while with the ads that pop up, right? Something similar? Like you can thumb up, thumb down an ad?
Yes, but now you can really this is for your Google account in its whole. And it's a really cool looking concept. I'm assuming it's going to be rolled out at some point this year. That's the whole point of I.O. But it was super cool because it's like, if you see this ad all the time that annoys you on Google, well, you go in and you can critique that.
Yeah.
I don't know how well it's going to work or how much they're going to listen, but I like the fact that now they're letting you, it's like, look, we're going to give you ads. Yeah. You understand that's part of the internet now. It's the way that life works.
If you like free things, you like ads.
Yeah. See, I'm totally fine with that because actually, when I was talking to David a while back about tailoring Facebook and I'm just going to unfollow everything so I don't get ads. I don't really have a problem with ads so much because it's like if it's something I need or something I want, then that's awesome because we have some money sometimes and it's nice to buy Oculus, headsets and it's nice to buy new cameras and if there was no ads, how would I know about it?
Yeah, how else are you supposed to figure out the new stuff that comes in?
Yeah.
Aside from us being nerds and subscribe to channels that review new things.
I mean, it's just a tailored billboard.
Yeah. And I would love that more because the problem with Facebook is it was pay to win. So it was anybody that put money into it would just because we've boosted ads before. It's all right, I'm going to target this region. I'm going to target this gender by this age. And it has no, in my opinion, didn't have very many specifics of what I'm a tech person and based on all of my internet history, this is what I'm most interested in. They're like, you want soap. I'm no, I don't. I'm we have soap. I really don't need that special branded thing. Did we just lose my angle?
No, you're good. It's there.
It's good.
So it sounds really cool because if it's targeted towards things that I actually enjoy, then I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Like you said, ads are going to come no matter what. And if it's what's the word? Whenever two people. Consensual, as long as it gets consensual on what ads I'm seeing, then I feel like that at least is a little bit better than Facebook just you want ads and you're gonna get them.
I agree.
Yeah, well, that's why. So the reason why those little pop-ups came up is because of the EU passed a law. They're kind of a big deal over not here in the United States,
right?
That tiny little place.
They're about the size of the United States power-wise, I think.
I was going to say
there are a whole bunch of countries agreeing to be, you guys know what the EU is. If you don't know what the EU is, go listen to a geography podcast.
Go watch an ad.
Go listen to history class.
They owned everything.
They
passed
some laws requiring this to happen, and since they're a big enough domain, it basically was easier for every single website to make it for the whole entire world to have to deal with these regulations too.
Yeah,
and so that's why we're seeing it.
That's wild.
And that's why I say we use cookies to tailor this website to a new experience to you, blah, 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 blah,
well,
blah.
They also pushed it, and I assume this is Google basically getting people to consent into more tracking because Google lost a lot of tracking capabilities. And I think it was partly, it may have been EU, may have been US, I don't remember. But basically, there was some legislation passed somewhere in the world that was you can't track individual people. You should track people by collective groups. So whenever they sell data, I am in a 18 to 30-year-old male tech enthusiast that likes cameras and that type of thing. It's very tailored, but I'm in a group of 10,000 people. Yeah. So I would get ads marketed in that group of interest as opposed to me as an individual and only the things that I want.
Right. Instead of here's Tristan's profile. He's 20-something, married and probably list your wife's name. Yeah. And, and then it's here's his height and here's his internet history. And it's there's a whole profile that's tailored around you and your life.
And there's basically just more anonymity as opposed to this Google system that Google, what'd you call it? What was the name of this?
I don't know. I just kept calling it their I don't know, their ad result console, something like that.
So they're basically
critique it.
getting you to volunteer that information on an individual basis that they recently were revoked. And if you want it to be more accurate, then that's awesome. Otherwise, you're just going to be thrown in a pool of 10K. I think it was like the roundabout number.
I'm just going to be that guy that goes in and dislikes everything that shows up.
That's what I'm going to do too.
Yeah. I mean, some of the ads are good, and some companies thrive on that. Even small companies.
Dude.
Like I know small companies that pay to play, and it's very lucrative for them.
What about have you seen the Black Rifle Coffee Company?
Yeah.
Dude, that's like, I don't really drink coffee, but their commercials are so funny. Like, I know like it's some of it's political, but whatever. They got VFX, they got guns, they got real guns. Sometimes it's not VFX, and they got tanks. They just blow stuff up, and they're like, we sell coffee too. If you like us, you might like our coffee. And it's like more of the personality as opposed to the product. And to me, I think that is the evolution of advertising, because you see that a lot in influencers and product reviews. And then over time, I think the influencers that aren't genuine are going to like fall through, and the ones like the Linus Tech Tips, the people that review consistently and authentically are probably going to be the ones that rise to the top, and then those are the ones that are going to get even more money. So I know that's probably not going to be the exact case, but that seems to be the trajectory it's going, is that parasocial relationship relying on like, I trust this person I've never met.
Yes. People want authenticity.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, show me a real person, show me the real thing. I mean, that's why I think we've seen some of the marketing regress to, you know, shaky, vertical, cell phone footage.
Less polished.
Yeah. Which makes me sad, but I understand it.
Yeah.
I like Linus Tech Tips for that kind of example, because a lot of the times when they do a sponsored video, they either try to transform it into something that isn't really about the sponsor, or it's just not related to it at all.
Right.
And so when I see something that shows up later in a different video and they're actually giving praise about that product or whatever that isn't being sponsored on, and I can be like, oh, okay, like they actually like this product because they're using it and they're talking about it, because there's that authenticity that comes.
Right.
I just had an epiphany.
What's that, buddy?
We're talking about all these like the people, you know, almost wrapping full circle here. All these companies that we want to see rise to the top, and like that authenticity. And then I have these nightmares that maybe they're not as nice as I thought they were.
Yeah.
Going back to the corridor thing, it's so weird to think about growing up. A company that was like using Red cameras, which was like, you know, still is one of the highest end cameras you can get as a prosumer, low level commercial producer.
Yep.
And I'm like shooting with a cell phone at like the age of 12, and now they're shooting with a Ronin 4D, and that's what we're shooting with. That's so crazy. Like,
no, it's
gotta be so hyper. You
it's
know,
a big
like
deal.
that's awesome. Like we're shooting with equipment that's like on par with the people that like we consider, you know, good role models for the industry. And I mean, at the same price range, Linus is using the Black Magics because they downgraded from the Reds. Financially, it's a downgrade. Quality wise, it's probably parallel. They went over to the Black Magic 12Ks for a while, and those are in the same exact price range.
Wow,
that's just crazy. Like we're doing it.
I know. We're getting it done. We're tired.
All of our new equipment's just freaking awesome too.
It is amazing. Yes,
but
we'll talk about that
another time
when Tristan gets back from vacation.
I'm in next week.
You're in next week? I couldn't remember.
Yeah, and I'm
out
that's
again. Right. It's the last week. Week.
I'm here for one more guest.
One more guest.
Wow.
And we've totally got all of that planned out.
I don't know.
I can't wait to talk to.
That's a really great guest. They are my favorite.
It's fantastic.
I love it when they do that thing.
Yeah, they're a real
real fun person.
Yep, that's gonna be awesome. Do you wanna say the things?
Yeah, I'll say the things. So I'm gonna start to set it. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening. If you're listening, if you're one of the 5 people who are listening
but not listening,
we appreciate it. Yeah, if you're watching and not listening, well, you have other issues.
Subtitles, man.
True, they are auto-generated.
Then we offended you. Keep going.
True. I wonder if it says bleep. But anyways, thank you for your support. Tell your friends, though, we need more support. Really going downhill.
It's all good,
check
guys.
us out online, TRIFLIX.com. We are on Instagram, TRIFLIX LLC, also TRIFLIX Cast. Check out all the goodies. We're on Twitter, but we don't mess with Twitter, so stay out of there. And YouTube. Check out all the stuff on YouTube. We have a lot of cool stuff.
And if you guys liked it, like it. If you don't like it, then double don't like it. Just click it twice. That's awesome. Make sure you hit subscribe and check it out. Come back again, because maybe you'll hear the story of how I made a phone call to somebody that was deaf.